Welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking a deep dive into the brand new WTA Singles Rankings for September 2025. Every month, the rankings shift, and this September has given us some really interesting movers, both up and down. In this video, I'll highlight 10 players who slipped in the rankings and 10 who climbed higher. We'll talk about their previous ranking, their current position, and most importantly, the stories behind those changes. Let's begin with the players who unfortunately dropped this month. Marie Boskova, previously ranked number 48, now down to 54. Boskova has always been known as a solid baseline player with great defensive skills. She often grinds down her opponents and can extend rallies like few others. But in recent months, her results have been inconsistent. She hasn't gone deep into the bigger tournaments, and that's cost her points. Sometimes her style works brilliantly, but when she faces the power hitters in the top 30, she struggles to keep up. That explains the 6-spot drop. Katie Bolter. From 54 to 55. Bolter's drop is just one place, but it shows how competitive the rankings are around this tier. A single match win or loss can make a big difference. Bolter has been gaining attention as the top British player on tour with an aggressive serve plus forehand game. However, she hasn't been able to consistently back up her stronger results, especially on hard courts. With players just behind her picking up points, she finds herself edged down by one spot. Tamara Zidanšek, from 150 to 152. Zidanšek is a clay court specialist who made headlines a few years ago with a semifinal run at Roland Garros. But outside of clay, her performances have not been as strong. This season, she's struggled to win matches in the main draws of big events. And even on her favorite surface, she hasn't put together a run like before. That explains her small but telling slide of 2 places. Maddison Inglis. A big drop from 138 down to 153. This is one of the more significant moves downward. Inglis has been around the tour for some time and often plays ITF and qualifying events. A drop of 15 spots suggests that she may have lost points from a successful run last year that she couldn't defend this season. She's a steady baseliner, but she hasn't yet had that breakthrough run to push her into the top 100. This slide makes the climb back even harder. Jana Sept. From 146 down to 157. Sept is a talented player with a big game, but her career has been filled with ups and downs. This 11-spot drop reflects the fact that she hasn't managed to string together enough wins to keep her points secure. Often she runs into higher-ranked opponents early in tournaments, and without those big wins, the rankings slip away quickly. Sara Sorribes Tormo. From 170 all the way down to 199. This is the biggest tumble on our list, nearly 30 places. Sorribes Tormo is known for her grit, her incredible defensive style, and her ability to frustrate opponents with long rallies. But she's also been dealing with injuries and patchy form. When she's at her best, she can take down top players with her persistence. But this season hasn't been kind to her. This dramatic fall reflects both missed tournaments and some tough early exits. Louisa Chirico. From 151 down to 154. Chirico, an American, had a breakthrough several years ago, but hasn't been able to recapture that form consistently. Her game has potential, strong baseline strokes and decent movement, but injuries and inconsistency have slowed her progress. A 3-spot drop isn't massive, but it shows she's still struggling to climb back toward her previous heights. So that's the list of players who slipped this September. Some dropped only slightly, while others took major hits. Now let's shift gears and talk about the players who are rising. And in some cases, rising fast. Players who gained: Emiliana Arango, from 86 to 53. The biggest gainer of the month, Arango leapt an incredible 33 spots. She's been one of the most exciting young players to watch this season. Her powerful ground strokes and fearless attitude have carried her deep into tournaments, and those runs have translated into serious ranking points. A move like this suggests she's on the brink of breaking into the top 50, and possibly much higher. Keep your eyes on her, or she could be a future star of the tour. Alexandra Ayala, from 61 to 57. Ayala, the young talent from the Philippines, continues to make steady progress. A 4-spot rise doesn't sound huge, but every move inside the top 60 is significant. She's already shown she can compete with established players and has a bright future ahead. Her baseline game is solid, and her composure on court is impressive for her age. Expect her to keep climbing as she gains more experience. Mayar Sharif, from 103 to 100. For Sharif, this is a milestone moment. Breaking back into the top 100. Sharif has been flying the flag for Egypt on the WTA Tour and has developed a reputation as a tough competitor, especially on clay. Breaking into the top 100 opens doors to direct entries into bigger tournaments, which means more chances to earn points and climb even higher. Veronika Erjavec, from 119 all the way up to 99. Another huge mover, Erjavec gained 20 places to break into the top 100 for the first time in her career. That's a massive achievement and a sign that her game is improving fast. She's likely had a string of good results at the ITF, or WTA 250 level, and making the leap into the double digits is proof that she's on the rise. Dalma Galfi, from 99 to 98. A small jump, but meaningful. Galfi has been hovering around the top 100 for a while, and every point matters when you're trying to secure main draw entries into slams. She's known for her aggressive baseline play and her fight on court. Anna Bondar, from 97 to 96. Another slight gain, but these are the steps that keep a career moving forward. Bondar is also a player more comfortable on clay, and her incremental progress suggests she's been consistent enough to stay ahead of her rivals. Victoria Tomova, from 98 to 97. Tomova is one of those players who often grinds through qualifying rounds to earn her spot in big events. Moving up one place doesn't sound big, but when you're close to the cutoff for major tournaments, that one spot can be the difference between qualifying and getting a direct entry. So what can we take away from this month's rankings? On one side, you have players like Emiliana Arango and Veronika Erjavec, who are making huge leaps thanks to strong performances and momentum. On the other, players like Sara Sorribes Tormo and Maddison Inglis have slid backward, either due to injuries, inconsistency, or an inability to defend past results. That's the beauty of the WTA rankings. They're alive, constantly shifting, and they tell the story of who's in form, who's on the rise, and who's struggling. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss the next update. We'll keep following the movers and shakers on the women's tour as the season unfolds. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.